Hi there, back to the old Cryostasis Seria deck. And we're in! Yay, that was reasonably fast. However, this is a really poor start, so we're not keeping it. This is really good. I like it. Okay. So we'll just get this out here and prepare the Might, since we don't have anything but creatures at the moment. And... okay. Well, I think I'm going to be completely screwed this game, considering I'm fighting just generally superior Necro. So that's not going to go so well. But I can prepare nonetheless. And we're going to need more Might. That's clear. So I'll place this right around here. Now, if this person plays Ariana like a lot of the Arianas I have played against, eventually she will be taking out... well, yeah, definitely playing like that then, with all the removal. They wouldn't be afraid to use... what is it? All Might. They wouldn't be afraid to use the Broken Bridge and that kind of thing, which would require a lot of stats, but ultimately that's more removal, and that's what they tend to be about. I could deal 2 damage to that, but I wouldn't be able to finish it off because I'd only be able to deal 1 damage to that, so instead it would be in my best interest to get a magic shooter and back it up. So I could do that, or instead I could infect that. And that might be an even better idea. However, none of these are immune to retaliation, which means this could still be a blocker eventually. It's a bit of a risk, but I'm going to take it, and I'll eventually need a magic. If I want to use this next turn to kill that off, I will need it. What I could have done actually is used my Decay Spitter and then assumed that next turn I would use the Ice Spikes to finish that off. I might even still have to do that because they're going to block again. Alright, well I have a Dark Assassin and something to back it up. So instead I might play that. It is generally the better play. And I can also infect this, but the infect would not do any damage because infect is not magic. And this is incorporeal. It really should only take physical damage instead of, or this should really only apply to physical damage, but now it applies to everything. Okay. Well, I think I am going to take that chance of getting more damage out on the field, and hitting that wouldn't do anything, so I should probably ignore it and just move out of the way for now and get that last bit of magic that I need. So next turn I would be able to kill that off if it used it to block. However, the Decay is going to end up killing that off. I can play another one of them, however, so that's not as bad as it seems. Do I want to start taking swings at that? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Because what I could do instead is reposition. It'd be dangerous. But I could reposition like so, and get the Decay Spitter out on that, so it'll actually start taking damage from it, and play this here, so that next turn, what I can do is use the Ice Spikes to deal 2 damage to it, and finish it off with something that would normally do 2 damage. Alright, so that's that gone again. It's really excellent removal. You get a creature with Infect, and you get to kill off Dark Assassins really easy. It's a surprisingly necessary utility. Even though it's a single creature, Dark Assassin, the amount of times that Dark Assassin comes out generally means that this is just perfect. It's a Firebolt with a free creature. With Infect. Perfect. Alright, so I won't be able to finish much stuff off. I could use Infect to kill that, and I feel like I need to. So what I'm going to do is use this to deal damage, attack that, it's infected, so it'll die. That'll die from the 2 damage, which is reduced to 1. And this has infect, which means I could also kill that off. Like so. So next turn, this will be the only thing that survives. What I could do then is place some stuff down here. I think that at this point we need additional tankage, but the damage would be nice. Yeah, I'm going to get the damage out instead. I can't really leave myself open for too long against a superior Necro hero. And I don't think I really need anything else. I'll get Fortune, or Destiny that is, just to keep him thinking, I suppose. And next turn with 8, I'll be able to play 2 of these if necessary, which makes great melee tanks. Especially now that I have a lot of damage on the field, it means I'll actually be able to make use of this, because I'll actually be able to kill creatures. Waiting for more removal to come out. They have to have it. They have 5 magic right now. They are a magic-focused hero. They have to have more removal. How many insect swarms did they use? They used 1 insect swarm and 1 soul reaver. They're probably waiting to use more soul reavers on things that have more threat. So they're probably thinking of whether they really want to use their removal on things that are relatively not so dangerous. However, this fetters pretty much shut down this entire area. However, this can still die if they don't kill this off, because this has infect 1, and this has 1 damage and immune to retaliation. Not that it really matters, this has no retaliation, but the point is, I could kill that off. And I probably will. And another one of these comes out. Excellent. They've used lots of Decay Spitter removal on my Dark Assassins, so it has a better chance of surviving now. So this thing's dead. I don't have to really waste this if I don't want to. And do I want to use it anyway? No, because I'd rather get out more creatures. But what creatures? Because I have a lot of things that can be played in the melee lane at this point. Well, I definitely want this additional damage, so I'll get that out. I definitely want it to be backed up, so I'll get that out. This certainly needs to be getting swung at the moment. And we might as well place the poison down. And we can draw a card now. Finally, for the first time. And it's a really great card. So as long as I have a creature on the field, I'll be able to do at least 3 damage if necessary. It's basically a free POW, as long as I have a creature on the lane, which is pretty much the opposite of normal POWs, where I would have to have an empty lane. Oh, wow. Puppet Master. Well, took a pretty good tank, I suppose. But, I suppose normally they would be waiting to use that on something a little bit bigger, but unfortunately, I don't have something particularly huge except for a Tropos, and even then, that's only really good for its effect. For getting out the Dark Assassins, mostly is what I would use it for. So that's what it's about. Get those out, use the Icy Weapon on it, make it real cheap combos. Alright, well that thing's dead. Pretty easy. And I can prevent a creature from being targeted, which is pretty good. Don't really need to so much right now. This thing's dead. I could kill that off. How exactly? This is not a shooter, so I can't hit it in the back row. I'm going to have to kill this off at some point. Guess I'd have to use the Icy Weapon right now. So, out comes the Icy Weapon. There goes that. And I can start getting out the extra tankage. Or I could fill up this lane. This thing's going to end up dying at some point, so this lane I might as well just abandon entirely. Start building up some forces on this area. And I might as well just deal the damage here so this thing gets infected. And I'll prevent this thing from being targeted. So no more of that bullshit Decay Spitter nonsense. No. That's why these are in the deck now. Very important. Oh, POW. Great use. Oh yeah. So one way to really get around my strategies. And another Puppet Master. Jesus. That's hardcore. Uses a lot of resources, but Again, that's a really great tank. However, it does not give quick attack, so at least I can poison that. However, it would still be able to regen pretty fast, so I wouldn't necessarily think that I would have a chance of killing that with poison outright. It would just keep regenning. Well, this thing's dead. I can't really do it with buffs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I could do is buff up a creature using this. Perhaps I should on something like this. Might be ideal. Either way, I'll be doing my damage right about now. And I might as well do my damage here, since there's nothing really else I can do there. I think it might be wise to use this, but at the same time, getting more creatures out would increase my damage more. Thing is, I'm running low on cards now. If I use it on this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that would leave me with 10 resources. So I might as well use it and get this out, along with some backup. Poison that. Okay. So we're doing fairly good, but I'm sure they'll have plenty more removal, and I'm down to 1 card, whereas they have 3 left. I don't have much surprise factor left. I'd have to end up drawing, which is fine, since we're late game and we have plenty of resources, not a problem. But the fact that I'm relying on the cards that are on top of my deck means I probably won't be surviving much longer. At this point, I have the board advantage, but the problem is that they have plenty of insect swarm left, I'm sure. And that could turn the tides fairly rapidly, especially with this high health stuff they're playing. I wouldn't be surprised if they started using that removal. Oh, protective. Alright, that means this isn't going to help much at the moment, which is quite unfortunate. Well, what it used is Puppet Master, so getting hit once won't kill that off, unlike a Shadow Copy. I'm probably going to have to draw. However, I could use 5, and that's 9, 10, 11. I could use all my resources right now. I might have to, in fact, to make sure that their field is more clear than mine. So I think I'm going to buff up to make sure I can finish off as much stuff as possible, including that. And that could die as well. So let's get that out of the way. And this thing's dead. Lets me get some damage in finally. This thing wouldn't help so much here, so I might as well finish that off first. Otherwise, it'll be a large problem that I won't be able to deal with easily. But I do like to finish people off with this. I'm going to leave that on the field and let them think they can get away with blocking with it, because that's what they will do with it. And we might as well draw the card. I should have done that first. I think I'm going to save that for later. And I might as well actually deal the damage to my hero to draw a card again. He has 0 cards. So getting the card advantage is going to be in my best interest at the moment, since that's what's going to be what will decide the battle ultimately at this point. I'm not too worried about... Well, I'm not too confident in my board presence getting me the win, especially with things like Shadow Copy, which can get up some insane damage unexpectedly. Well, that didn't go so well for you. The creature died, and it regened my soul-consuming lich as soon as it died. And they gave up. Too much board presence. Apparently they didn't draw the removal they needed, so that worked out a lot better than I expected. Usually against Ariana, I die regardless of what heroes I have, but usually I don't have heroes that survive long into late game and they rely more on early game, so that perhaps is to be expected. Either way, that's a pretty grand old victory there against the superior Necro hero. And I'll see you next time.